It is not Tuesday, but it is the Tuesday album tour. It's actually Wednesday. I'm making up a stream because last week I had to take a week off of making videos. And we are in the midst of Funk February, where this month we are going, or today specifically, we are making up 210, which means we are hopping into the Meters album, self-titled The Meters, and James Brown's live Sex Machine album. But as of this very moment, we are hopping into the Meters, and I am pretty juiced about this. I think when I looked into doing the Funk Month, we had a lot of research go into it, just like community polls, discussions with community members, actual like Googling what people said the best funk records of all time were. Looking for, things that consistently popped up in various different lists, kind of cross-referencing that with the community. The Meters were largely one of those overwhelmingly, almost on every single list you looked at kind of artists. And I think I knew the name coming into it, but I certainly, as I look at this track list, don't think I know a single one of them. I'm not quite sure if this is a scenario where it's gonna end up being a whole bunch of songs I knew and didn't realize I knew, because it was like maybe used in commercial contexts or movies or TV, things like that. Or like I idly heard it walking through a grocery store or like a department store or something. Or I'm not quite sure. Maybe it's completely undiscovered to me. But what's exciting is every single thing that we have done this month in the realm of funk, from Curtis Mayfield and Superfly to Parliament and Mothership Connection to last evening when we covered Betty Davis and Fela Kuti. Every single one of these albums has been a very distinctly different flavor and kind of subgenre, if you will, of funk. And we started talking about the fact that funk was a blind spot for me sometime last month, or maybe 2 months ago now, when we were listening to Sly and the Family Stone. And immediately I was like, guys, should I do a funk month? Because this is always awesome. Bass lines and harmonies and like the synthy stuff. And overwhelmingly, you guys were like, yeah, Walter, we should definitely do a funk month. Honestly, this is something, guys, should we do like a funk month? Should we just do like a month, like a month of funk? Like Funky February might happen. The Funk February might actually happen. Holy cats. This was so incredibly uplifting. This was so exciting. This, honestly, I feel like it's just a breath of fresh air in terms of music. I got a resounding yes immediately. So this is how we ended up here. Guys, this is a music discovery stream. I have to ask, have you heard this album and this artist before, or are you raw dogging a very first listen with me? I'm going to hit the play button. Before I do, it is very important to me that you know that you are awesome, that you are valuable, that you are important, that you matter, that you are deserving of love, and that I am abundantly grateful for even a moment of your time. If you like what you see, feel free to hit the like and the subscribe button. It goes a long way to help me out. If you really like what you see, leave a comment. I would love to hear from you, or join us on Kick or Twitch. I stream every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Arizona time. These people over here are the best people. Come hang out with us. Come discover music with us. I know I speak for all of us when I say we would love to have you by. Guys, every single time I see the acronym for the thing I say, this thing that you guys copy and paste, it makes me laugh. It really is hilarious to me that you guys have gotten it that down pat. It also gave me an excuse to show off my fancy new purple check mark that Twitch gave me for becoming a partner. Once again, thank you guys so much. This is my second stream as an official Twitch partner. It is my third album as a Twitch partner. this community that we've built together on music discovery and appreciation, and just general love of our brothers of man. I it's a really, really massive blessing and buff to my life to have you guys be a part of this, and thank you. I mean, again, it's a really, really, really cool thing to kind of be able to be the host of a forum of conversations of music, of all sorts. So I appreciate the heck out of it, guys. I'm gonna hit the play button. I already did the thing, didn't I? Without further ado, the meters. The meters. Oh, we have context. Thank you. Thank you. And bingo, bango. Okay, the Meters self-titled album came out in '69 and is the New Orleans Funk Quartet's debut album. The Meters would cut their teeth in the New Orleans nightclub circuit for the majority of the '60s, developing their musical chops. Their music takes elements from R&B, rock, and jazz of the time and mixes it into a funky concoction that goes down smooth. The album's entirely instrumental, choosing to focus on the tight-knit interplay of the organ, bass, guitar, and drums. The cover art of various clocks, timers, and measuring tapes was chosen to symbolize the diversity of composition and rhythms on display throughout the album. The meters are as follows. Bingo, bango. Okay. Well, guys, I didn't realize we were walking in on an instrumental album, but if funk has something to say about it, I'm kind of down to say. I'm guessing if it's instrumental, maybe I haven't heard the meters then, or maybe I have and it was just in movies or something. I don't know. Without further ado, the Meters album, The Meters, starting off with Cissy Strut.
Yeah.
Ha I think I'm gonna end up jamming with this one. So did they have albums where they did sing, or was the majority of their albums like instrumental? Albums back cover depicting band members in 1969. Here we are. Come on, there we are. Very nice. Okay. Bring it back a bit. They later have vocals. I love that vibe. And the pocket of the drummer. That organ. I tell you, if I'm going to give you guys a link to go and listen to, because this is very much reminding me of Delvon Lamar Organ Trio. And if you want to see just a tremendous performance, you absolutely, without question, need to go later. Heck, you can do it now if you want to. I don't care. Come back and say what's up, but go and watch this performance. It like, a live version. It's a trio that's kind of making noises and sounds that are very much representative of this. I thought Delvon Lamar organ trio, when I heard them, was so cool because I hadn't necessarily heard anything like what they did. And as I'm hearing this, it occurs to me that every single bit of the DNA that is in the band Delvon Lamar organ trio is coming from this. It's such a kind of a train thing, you know? It's like when you're talking rhythm, it's got such a strong sense of time. And I mean, let's be real. The drummer is not doing anything that sounds like he would be in the greatest drummer in the world contest, but the way he is being so masterful with his beats, his pockets are so deep. It creates such space for the rest of the band to kind of hop in there and interact. And I just really, really, really like it. And how consistent, you know, and then that kind of splash on the drum, the cymbals. It's kind of nice too because they take turns being structured and then letting the instrumentalists kind of go off and do their thing, you know. There is absolutely a sense of funky to it, you know. And when I say that, I mean it feels a little bit jazzy, and it's kind of conversation from instrumentalist to instrumentalist. It feels like it's like jam with a super firm structure and, you know, pretty strict rules regarding the jam, but it's so smooth. I tell you, if I still did psychedelics, that'd be. We got lyrics, baby. Here comes the meter man. The organ and how just like pleading it is, you know, it does have a little bit, kind of reminds me a little bit of like Grateful Dead jamming. The lyrics are... It's kind of nice too because you hear the guitar kind of doing these little walks, do 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 do, dun dun dun. You know, and you kind of hear them just like It's and maybe in that's a little bit like what kind of makes me think of Jerry's playing, because he does those, like, he does a lot of those little walking moments, going from chords to chords, right? Ooh. That like wah phaser thing. Is it a Mutron, or is it a wah pedal? Because it feels like it could be like an envelope filter more than a wah pedal. No, I think it's a wah. See what I'm talking about? The drummer. I think you can hear him kind of yelling in the background, or like him counting. Ooh. Doesn't have enough quack. Autism's all over. So that deserved a star, or a heart that I didn't give it. I think that this might just have become like my new favorite jam. Like, I think I'm gonna end up taking so many at bats at this behind the scenes, just playing along on my guitar. This feels like it would be such an easy album to just jam along with. Cardova is your favorite? Oh. This is really nice. It's just upbeat. This is the kind of thing, like, I play with instrumental jam tracks all the time because I want to get better at improvisation. I want to get better at understanding how to communicate with the other instrumentalists, and this is an album that is perfect for that. When that bass starts going into what feels like downstrokes, like a whole bunch of and then you've got that, it's super cool. that guitar tone is lovely. That like Stratocaster on position 5 on the pickup selector, or position 4 maybe. Wow. It really, that clean sound with just the most slight amount of bite to it in that guitar tone is just so tasty. That it's so expressive. It does give me Jerry Garcia tone vibes, like when he makes his clean tones, that with all of that headroom. What I think we are hearing here is an amplifier with a tremendous amount of headroom. Like it's kind of set up in a loud amplifier on a guitar played really soft, like a really loud amplifier that is able to be turned up really loud without the tubes going into, overdrive the signal. So like, it definitely feels like a Fender Twin, like, and I think Jerry used a Fender Twin plugged into like a power amp. So it was like he gave himself just an unreal amount of headroom for his actual rig, but it feels very much like he played a 335. Really? Huh. What I'm getting at is it feels like there are these moments where, again, loud amplifier, dynamic guitar playing, he's not playing incredibly hard on the strings, and then when he does, it pops. You get a real big punch of the moment. Oh, I love Jersey Girl. What up, Scoots? How's it going, homie? This has been so nice. Again, the drums have just been so perfect. I could absolutely see how, like, rap guys end up sampling this old stuff. It makes perfect sense to me. This is Livewire. Wow. Wow. Ooh. This reminds me a little bit of Krongobin. Bow, bow. That guitar tone specifically brings me to Krongobin. That organ back and forth with the organ and the guitar is tremendous. And there's a nice little bit where, like, you got on the drum sound, it feels like you can really kind of hear him in the room. It's like it seems like it's just a couple of overheads, and like the bleed of the drum mics and the room is just making the drum sound to me so perfect. It's one of those things that I think one of the reasons I like sounds like that is because, like, honestly, the music I cut my teeth on, like early 2000s indie rock, a lot of it was recorded in dudes' living rooms on like 8 tracks, right? So like the drum sound I grew accustomed to liking was often overhead mics and a bass mic in somebody's living room. And so there's a certain amount of like drum room sound that's always going to ring my bell when I listen to music, and this has kind of got that perfect drum room sound. If you know what I'm talking about, put it in the chat, because a lot of people think I'm absolutely bonkers for talking about the sound of drums in a room. The lead in the left ear. Lead guitar. The softest amount of overdriving at the top end of this guitar sound. Let it down. Oh my gosh. This is so specifically every single bitty bit of a thing that I loved about Del Von Lamar Organ Trio. But it happened, I don't know, 50 years ahead. You know, like it's unbelievable to me how cool this is. This just feels like an actual good time. Like, and it's perfect for conversation. It's perfect for like having on around a house. It's perfect for uplifting. It's perfect for playing along with, like, because again, you kind of get to hear what the band members are saying to one another through the instrumentation, and like I keep thinking of how like I would approach these moments as I'm like listening along, and it feels like you kind of just hear their conversation between their rhythm, you know? It's a really interesting way to kind of highlight the counterpoint between rhythm and melody here. And hearing them kind of trade taking leads has just been so much fun. I can only imagine that they had fun making this record together, like knowing that they were kind of setting each other up to look cool. This one's called Art. Art Neville, the organ player in the band. Can we admit that the Leslie speaker is one and like the Hammond B3 organ is one of the coolest instrument combos the world has ever known? Can we all agree to that? Got a 12-bar blues thing kind of going here. The key change. Or never mind, they just stepped it up. Now it was a key change. Okay, so I'm not dumb. Do you guys hear the crazy, terrible noise that's happening in my headset right now? Do you guys hear? You see the no? What on earth? Technical difficulties are resolved. Bringing it back a little bit. Let's go. What's up, Luke Bongoman? Welcome to the Rooskies, homie. Rooskies, make our friend feel at home. The bass has such a swing to it. Wait, El Jefe still had ads? No! No, I didn't want to keep going until everybody had ads done. I have no idea why Twitch is yeeting people that way. It bums me out. I'm sorry that happened this time, guys. I try pretty hard to make sure that crapola does not become of us. So yeah, my bad. Hopping on in to the next song. Let's see. Sophisticated Cissy. Not Cissy Strut. Sophisticated Cissy. Ooh. Thanks, El Jefe. No, the intention was there. Ooh. This might be the one. Oh. I think this is the one. There is just something about like a Mixolydian jam that makes me want to hop in. You know what I mean? There's just something about it, guys. Ugh. There's just something about it. Let's bring it back a bit. There's something about it, dude. There is something again about a Mixolydian jam that just that really makes me want to just hop in there, roll up, and take my swing. Just a nice little. I'm not doing it here. Whoa, the audio messed up? Well, I'm glad you guys told me that. How bad did it mess up? What happened? I'm delayed? Is that still happening? Are we good? Music doubled a little? Huh. Well, give me a moment. I am wondering if I did something weird. Oh, that's what happened. It's coming out of my helix. We don't want that. That should be better. Are we better now? Are we back? Bam, 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 bam. I feel like I did not find this song as smoothly as maybe I snapped into the last one, and I feel like when I take at bats, like sometimes I'm going to kind of snap it, like find it faster than other times. In this context, I just didn't feel like I really found this one. I looked up, I saw you guys were like, "Hey, audio issues," and at the end of the day, it's so fun as a musician to play along. Sometimes I have to like pull myself away and remember, like, I'm not here to take at bats. Like, I'm here to listen to music. But understand, to me, one of the biggest, like, even if I suck at my attempt, one of the biggest compliments I can pay to an artist is to grab my instrument. Like, they motivated me, they inspired me, they made me want to participate, they made me want to do the thing that makes me happy and play my instrument, you know? There's such a unique character to music that makes me want to do that. And again, whether it sounds good or not is irrelevant, because I'm not the world's best musician, and I don't do it to take a dump all over it, but participating, like when an artist or a band makes me want to participate, it says a lot. It's one of, again, it's one of the things I look for when I react to music, is like, do I have that urge to grab my instrument? very much in the midst of like actually formally learning music, right? Like, really, in the last 2 years of my life, it's occurred to me how big that hole is in my life. And as I want to become a better instrumentalist, and as I find that I've really got like a desire to learn how to improvise with my instrument and other instrumentalists, to be able to maybe not have a mastery but an understanding of the language of music. It's been something I've kind of pushed myself to, and a lot of times I don't think you get that experience without taking at bats. And like, you don't see me off screen like running through you know my different modes on the guitar like to a metronome, like and like calmly cussing under my breath whenever I mess it up, and Mel being like, that sounds great. Like, you don't see those parts of my life. So whenever I try to take those moments and put them into a use case, it's sometimes going to work, sometimes it's not. But this channel has 100% inspired me to fill the gaps I can identify in my musicianship. And I always kind of wore it as a badge of honor that I was like self-taught in all of my instrumentation. But I feel like if I just wear that badge of honor and don't pursue further betterment, I'm kind of like squandering something I feel like might actually be a gift to my life. So I have been, making a lot more efforts to try to play along with what it is I hear, because in a lot of ways it's helping me become a better musician. So I appreciate very much that you guys like support whenever I go to try to do that. And for not dunking on me too hard whenever it doesn't always sound the best. So that moment right there, you just heard the lead trade from the guitar to the organ. And it's so seamless, right? You almost don't even catch that it's happened. But when they do those trade-offs, it really just elevates the song to different levels, even though it's kind of like a lateral trade. And I love the way that they approach that as instrumentalists. The bluesy thing meets funk bass lines. Well, even that bass, duh, 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 like there's so many tiny little moments in there that are just like kind of randomly tossed in bombastic moments that provide such big layers that they don't repeat. Yeah, and at bat, like swing my shot, right? Like step up to the plate and give it a shot. I might swing and I might miss, but I'm gonna try. Yeah, and if you're up after the guy on deck, you're in the hole. At least in track and field terms. Okay, and this one is 6v6 LA. And 6v6 are like, I always when I hear that and I think of tubes. Like, I had an old Fender Bassman 100 and it had old 6v6 and 6L6 tubes. I like but 6v6s are like really old chonky boy tubes. Yeah, named after. Okay, so yeah, that's it. Water Spark. That explains it. Thank you for that. Six v six COD mode. Yeah, you're riding the Pine Pony. Digging this one. I love that little bendy, bleedy lead. Coming in slightly delayed on him, too. It feels like they had to have played this in the room together, dude. And they panned it according to where they were stood in the room. See, it comes in just barely after the beat. It's a little bit rough, but intentional and perfect. Thank you there, Tim. Expressive micro timing. Bow, bow. The use on the guitar, you have this like kind of slapback reverb, and you've got this like kind of percussive poppy, you know, palm mutey sound that kind of goes throughout it. Like you have that, you know, it's such a nice little thing, and it adds a really nice extra percussive layer to what the drummer's already doing. And again, I think because of how deep the drummer's pockets are, you really have a lot of cool space to utilize these things, like Tim said, of you know, these you know, expressive micro timing moments. Really cool stuff. This actually might have been my favorite song on the album, and maybe just because it's talking about, you know, gear is in the title. I don't know. I really liked that one a lot. Sehorns Farm. It does have a little bit of that. Why do I feel like this is a really big song that I've heard in other places? Like, it feels like a song I know, but I don't know if it's just a common rhythm or melody. What is this? What is that? That song, the... What song is that? With the whistle thing. You know what I mean? The... Wait, there's a song that's got that whistle, but I can't think of what it is. This is a vibe. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. That lead coming in. I love those little walking. Kind of like he's running just a blues scale here, isn't he? Because like you hear some of those random like blue notes and like walk moments. This is so vibey. It's got just a nice swing and walk to it, you know? What up, BHP? Bum, bum. Bum, 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 bum. That it's just got that bum 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 bum. They have these really interesting, like I don't feel like we've heard anything that's outside of 4/4, but it's what they're doing inside the very, very, very deep pockets of that 4/4 that's so mind-blowing to me. Like as you hear this, it's not like anything any of these guys are doing is particularly virtuosic. It's not, what's up, Sticks? How's it going? Rooskies, give our friend Music by Sticks a big ol' shout out. That guy is a guy we raid a lot because I'm a big fan of what he does. He plays drums in front of people. His setup is amazing. He's a kind person. He's awesome. Go follow his channel. He's great. I think when you walk into something like this, you really end up seeing what a combination of a bunch of guys who are really willing to commit to less is more can be. Because they really get to explore the depths of less is more. They trade off on taking leads. They hold moments of backbone, but then they let everybody have these like random bombastic moments where they get to shine in addition to taking their entire leads. There's a really, really, really cool maneuverability behind the way they go about it. And they don't do it like having to flex like their skill, right? They're not like, look at me play. They're like, hey, you want to hear me play with my band? It hits such a different vibe. Dude, absolutely. Seriously, big fan of you, man. And how expressive the melodies have been through this whole thing. Like, how you see them kind of shift in these moments, but I was talking on the melody behind what they're doing. They kind of pass the melodies along, right? Like you don't, it's very instrumental other than like a couple of like, you're not hearing a bunch of lyrics. So the conversation that you're very literally hearing is the instrumentalists. And when they communicate, it's like sometimes you'll hear one person play a melody and then another one will hit them with like a counter melody and kind of follow it up. They really do go back and forth in that. And I don't think it's what like that jazz concept of trading sixes is, but it almost feels a little bit like that, where it pushes everybody to kind of be the feature without having to be gratuitous. Dude, of course. And the hybrid, like, lead rhythm playing behind the guitar is really nice. He does these leads and then slides into rhythm chords. Like, you hear the drums there? This one rips so hard. And honestly, this one might be my favorite on the album so far. And I'm willing to bet you was a total Betty. This song, it has such a fun do 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 do, like these walk moments, these like kind of broken into staccato moments. But then you've got these really interesting drum fills. Like, look! Tell me it's not hard to get behind that, dude. No question, drummer's MVP of this album. No question. Organ's close. And you really do get a sense of the room that they're in. You know what I mean? Like, you can tell that they played this as four guys, you know, like four guys in a room. When you hear the organ on the right side, like that Hammond B3 and Leslie, and you hear the lead guitar kind of hybrid, like we'll call it guitar 1.5, right? Because he's doing lead moments and he's doing rhythm moments. And then just this drummer and the way he kind of facilitates the transitioning between them, all while the bass is just walking up and down this whole thing, occasionally just taking it upon himself to completely swing the entire composition. It's really, really, really cool to hear the way that they do this, and all without having to just rub faces in it. The swing on the drums, dude. Music by Styx. Let me ask you this. You have a drummer's ear, pretty specifically. I've watched you drum quite a bit, right? When you hear the drum sound here, how would you imagine? I gave my opinion, like my like audio ear on the way I felt like they mic'd up the drums. How would you guess they got this drum sound? Like, I'm interested to know what you think they did as far as, like, capturing this sound. Stormy is coming up next. This album has been a mega banger, dude. That was an aggressive organ intro. Oh my gosh, it really got soft on us. Listening on your phone. I got you. No sweat, man. This takes me to, like, like the part of the show where everybody gets quiet and serious and just gets captivated by the performance. Like this is the intimate part of the album, right? Like this really you have some highs, some lows, some energy, some swings, but this really gets like to an emotional place. Like it definitely feels like this has a somber, like melancholy to it. You know, it feels like kind of a walking in the rain after bad news kind of song. Stormy is so apropos there. Gosh. A little bit of me is reminded of like The Thrill Is Gone, but I don't think that this is a triple minor song. But you hear that borrowed chord moment where you go, like, I don't know if that was like going like F to F minor right here. Right there. This has such a heavy presence to it. I love this song. Ann and Stormy are like back-to-back MVPs. That little walk. The whispering organ in the back. Oh my gosh. Actually, just such tasty music, man. I feel like this is this is what I'm guessing is going to happen. And Raw Doggers, let me know what your impression of the album has been thus far. Like first timers, the people that are discovering this one with me in the live setting, let me know what your impressions are so far. My thought is that they're hitting us with the somber energy, like kind of melancholic tone before just like sticking the landing, sending it out with like a high energy piece in the very last one, Sing a Simple Song. I could be totally wrong. But with the vibe and kind of the ebb and flow of the way the instrumentation is gone, that's just my guess. You know, I'm always wondering whether we think the album is going to stick the landing or not, right? Like this album has been just peachy easy to listen to. But my guess is they hit us with melancholy so that they can follow us off with like basically send us home with like a banger. That's my guess. Oh. Stormy, dude, this one went super hard. It's just easy music to fall in love with because there's nothing not to love. I told you. Listen to that drummer, dude. This reminds me a little bit of Started Up. You guys think so? This is the Sly cover? Okay. This organ is singing in my soul right now. I'm personally not hearing the Bitches Brew comparison. I feel like Bitches Brew is a little bit more like rubby, like you know, like make your spine tingle with some kind of, you know, it's a different kind of energy. Maybe I have to revisit it. Like it's a different kind of swing and energy, and maybe it's that, you know, maybe I'm sitting here noticing a massive lack of John McLaughlin, and maybe it's actually more. I'm sitting here thinking about it. Maybe it's not as far off as I'm thinking about. But wait, you need to hear Silent in a Way. Fair enough. Maybe I do. I think that they really had a good idea going low energy to high energy, because man, after the melancholy, the just beautiful melancholy coming out of that song Stormy, the raise and uplift going into Sing a Simple Song, amazing. Walking into it, take me there. There's the lyrics. Rang right into my loins, dude. This is not the funk I thought we were gonna get, guys, but this is the funk I'm here for. I'll say this. Of all of the albums I have listened to in Funk Month so far, this might be the one I return to the most because I want to play with it. You know, like, I want to play along. I want to participate. I want to find, like, I want to find the funk. I want to learn the funk. And it feels like this is a pretty good entry point into being able to do that. You know, when we were kind of exploring around, I made the comment that trying to jump into jazz feels so intimidating because it feels like it's got the highest prerequisite of knowledge in genres of music to participate in. You have to have an understanding of theory. And it feels like this is a good kind of like, take it, like, these guys are masterful. They're great musicians, but it feels like a really good karate teacher sparring with a student in a way. Like, my impression of like approaching this, because like they're all clearly unbelievably talented, mega level musicians, but they're just playing a groove. And I feel like this would be an album that if you're wanting to fine tune skills as, like, you know, a funky instrumentalist, this would be one that you could learn from. Like, I can immediately identify that there are lessons I can learn from playing along with this. And because there isn't vocals to it, it's one I can kind of confidently feel like I'm not getting in the way of, you know, the point of the song. I can try to work on my craft and learn how to fit myself into parts. And there's just something really exciting about kind of coming into an album like that I know, like, I'm going back to be in the band later, you know? I've always done that in my life, and the further along I've gotten in life, the more I've found benefit in, like, instrumental music for this reason. But as a kid, I learned how to play instruments by listening along with the songs obsessively over and over, and you know, this is kind of a version of that feels very approachable to me. Like, and also it's like, in a kind of a silly way, it's like listening to this album made me feel like I have a new textbook. You know, you know. Come on, why do you do this to me? I'm very, very, very happy we came here and did the meters, guys. This is good stuff. This I'm 100% here for. First timers, let me know, what did you think about it? Were you guys big and into it? Was this something that you could get behind? Because I'm standing here proudly behind it. Like I said, I'm very, very likely coming back to this, like, this evening post stream, just to jam along with it. I'm always looking for something to, like, play along with, something that, like, really stands out, something that, like, I think I can learn something from, or apply the lessons I've been learning behind the scenes, like, as I'm learning different modes to play, as I'm trying to, you know, learn different skills. This feels like an album that I can kind of take some of the things I've been learning behind the scenes and try to apply them in my own way. And that's just really exciting. Besides the point, it was as funky as it comes without having so much of the gratuitous nature that comes with funk. It was its own distinct flavor of funk for sure. And I loved that it does feel like it had that kind of Masters of Jazz vibe, where, like, every time we listen to a huge jazz artist put jazz down, you see that maybe it's called the Dave Brubeck Quartet, but Dave Brubeck is really there playing his instrument to support the people he asked to be in his quartet. Like, Take 5 is a Dave Brubeck Quartet song, but that song is all about him wanting people to hear the drummer play, right? And so it's in this context, it kind of feels like these guys were all about wanting everybody to hear the other guys in their band play. Not every band you can say that about. And I can't avoid that feeling, having listened to this one, that this was very much a band that was vibing along with what they were doing, but wanted everybody to have the attention. I really loved it. It was written by the sax Paul Desmond. Okay, even still, out of Dave Brubeck, you know, that, like, his name is on something that the sax wrote that featured the drummer. So you see what I'm getting at is really just it really lets everybody in the band shine. And I'm definitely, yep, there's a banjo right there. I'm definitely, like, super pro the meters. Let's let this song play the last, well, that was literally 8 seconds of dead air time. Okay, so my criticism of the album is that it board faded so bad that we had a solid 9 seconds of dead air time at the end of the album. It could have been 9 seconds shorter, and we all would have been fine with it. Guys, I love you. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much for the positivity that you show both to me and to one another. Continue to be the best, and until I see you next, be introspective and consider the birds. Goodbye.